Hey, and welcome to the Chef's Table, a weekly video series for culinary entrepreneurs who want to monetize their skills outside of the kitchen. I'm your host, Chef Evelyn. This is the place for successful women who want to live, cook, and work on their own terms. So if that's you, let's get started. Hey, and welcome back to another episode of the Chef's Table. And again, I'm back doing another video kind of like relevant to what we have going on right now. So I wanted to do this video about things you want to do before changing careers. And that's because I know a lot of you may be considering going into entrepreneurship right now, or maybe you may be considering starting something on the side, or maybe you're like, well, all that's happening in the world, it's time for me to go for my dreams and follow my passions. Listen, I totally get that. And so here's some things that I think you should consider before you do that. Now, if this is your first time here, listen, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. I have a whole playlist of videos about helping you build your culinary brand, about how to create multiple streams of income in your chef business, and how to monetize your cooking skills outside of the kitchen. So if you're into that, if that's something you've been looking for, then check out this playlist. And if I haven't introduced myself, I'm Chef Evelyn. You can just call me Evelyn. And this is what I help my clients do. I specialize in consulting and mentoring people who want to grow their business, who want to monetize in very non-traditional ways, and who want to create multiple streams of income. So if you're in the place where you're like, I'm ready to change careers, or I'm ready to, leave my current employment and go out and do my own thing, I've got a couple of things that I think you should consider before you just hop right out there, right? So I'm not team just jump out there and the net will appear. That is not me. This is real life. This is adulthood. And there's some things you need to consider that most people may have not already told you. Most people are going to talk to you about like how much money they think you should save or not save and all that. This is not that. This is more so about your business. So the first thing that you need to consider is you need to get clear on what you really, really want. I tell my clients all the time that if you want to quit your job just because you hate it, believe it or not, that's not a good enough reason. Because if you get in the habit of quitting something just because you don't like it, let me tell you, entrepreneurship is not for you, because there are going to be things in entrepreneurship that you're going to be like, I do not like this. This is uncomfortable. I didn't know it was going to be like this. And you're going to want to quit. And then now where does that leave you? So you need to get really clear on what you want, not just what you don't want. You can't just say, I want to start my own business because I don't want to work for anybody else, and I don't want to answer to a boss, and I don't. Well, what is it that you do want? Because otherwise you will build a business that replicates your job and you'll be equally as miserable. Okay, so you want to get really clear on not just what you don't want, but also on what you do want, okay? The second thing that you really need to consider is, why do you want to start a business, or why do you want to change careers, or why are you ready to let me take this thing that's been more like a side hustle and really ramp it up? Why? Because again, and it sounds cliche, and it used to frustrate me to no end when people used to say this because they wouldn't really explain it to me. And I was like, but isn't this why people go into business? Because here's the thing. If your reason is just about money, again, I can tell you that ain't gonna be work. I'm not saying money's not important. I'm not saying that can be one of the reasons, but it can't be the anchoring reason, because there's so many ways to make money that you could do anything on planet Earth to make money. So it's really got to be more so about, why do you want to be in business? Why do you want to start this business? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? Why is it so important? Why is now the time? Why can't you keep doing what you've been doing? Why can't you wait another month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? It's got to be a deeper why, because when those moments where it's not as sexy as people make it look on Instagram, when it's not as fun as people make it look on social media, right? When it's not as glamorous as being on TV, you've got to be willing to continuously and consistently and persistently do the work. And I'm telling you right now that if that why is not in place, and I'm telling you, money is not the motivator, I can tell you, I've seen it with myself and my clients. If that why is not strong enough and not deep enough, you will give up, and then you'll go on to the next thing to make money until that why is not strong enough, and you go on to the next thing, and you'll be ping-ponging all over the place, right? So you want to make sure that the reason why you want to change careers, leave your job, start your own business, ramp your business up is significant enough, okay? The next thing is, don't just jump out there without a strategy. So if you're new here, then I'm going to give you this example. If you've watched my videos before, then you've probably heard me talk about this, but you need a strategy in business. It's not a just, I'm a wing it and figure it out. So it's kind of like this. When you get into your car and you're getting ready to go somewhere you've never gone before, aka entrepreneurship, when you get in your car, you put your end destination, your coordinates into your GPS, right? So that's your goal. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to build? What do you want that to look like? Now, when it comes to getting there, your GPS will kick you back a couple of options. It'll say, okay, do you want the fastest route or do you want the shortest route? Do you want to take highways or do you want to avoid highways? Do you want to ride with tolls or do you want to avoid tolls, right? And that's your strategy, which is how are you going to get there? And the reason why the GPS can give you those options is because it's been where you're trying to go. It knows how to get there. It knows the terrain, something that you don't know yet, okay? Now, here's my next point. You need a mentor, okay? Because while the GPS can give you options, what happens when you get in the car and you start driving, if there's an accident or if there's traffic or if there's road closures, the GPS system can say, hey, go ahead and get off on this exit. You can save 3 minutes by going this way. Up, you got off track. Let me reroute you, right? And so that's what a mentor does. A mentor has been ahead of you and can see where you're going and the way that you've decided to go, aka your strategy, and say, all right, listen, if that's where you're trying to go and you're trying to go this way, then okay, you need to get on here and then you need to ride this out for 13 miles, but you need to exit, but the exit's on the left, even though it's going to look like it's on the right, and up, they've closed the road up ahead. You know what? Get off here. Oh, did you miss your exit? Let's reroute you and get you back on the path. Even though you ended up way over here on the other side of town, we can still get you back to your destination, right? And so can you imagine trying to get in your car, go somewhere you've never gone before in a let's just say in a country you've never been in, because entrepreneurship is its own world and universe, very separate than being an employee. Like, it's its own world and universe, right? And so can you imagine being in another country trying to get to a destination and you don't know where you're going? You don't even know what signs to look for. This is why you need a mentor, okay? And then the last thing is you need to mentally prepare. I will say this, if you are not already in the place where you are cultivating habits, where you're working on personal growth and development, entrepreneurship will do it for you and it won't be pretty. If you don't manage your money well now, you will manage your money poorly in your business. If you don't have discipline now, it will show up in your business. If you don't know how to be consistent and do things when you're not in the mood to do them now, then that's going to show up in your business. The difference is when you're an employee, some of that stuff can ride a little bit, or you can fly under the radar. If you do that in entrepreneurship, you won't get paid. And when you don't get paid, you won't eat. Okay? So if you are not in the place to mentally preparing and already starting to work on the areas where you're like, you know what, I really got to be better about returning phone calls or doing emails or being more organized or managing my finances or doing my taxes on time or being consistent or, doing things when I'm not in the mood to do them, doing things that are uncomfortable that I don't like, right? About interacting with people, about getting out and connecting, about building relationships. If any of these skills are lacking, then you need to mentally prepare and start working on them now, because if you want to change careers or you want to amp up your side hustle or whatever you want to do when it comes to being a culinary entrepreneur or any entrepreneur for that point, these are essential skills. If you don't like people, you might not want to do entrepreneurship. If you don't want to connect and network and respond, if you don't like systems and organizations and you just kind of want to be free, probably not entrepreneurship. That may work in a side hustle. That may work in a hobby that brings you in a little bit of coins. But if you're trying to make actual dollars, not just coins, you're going to have to really, really work on your mindset. So I said all that to say, not to discourage you, but to give you some things to consider, a roadmap to follow that says, okay, if I want to really start my own business or ramp up my side hustle or change careers and do something different, or just go from being an employee to an entrepreneur, these are the 5 things that you really, really, really need to consider. So you need to get clear about what you want, not just what you don't want. You need to get clear on your why, and it can't just be because I hate this job and I want to make more money, because you can just go and get another job for that. Okay, that is not going to hold you through entrepreneurship. You need a strategy. And listen, you can't be your own GPS. You also need a mentor or consultant. Anybody in any industry, anywhere, that has been extremely successful has had a coach, a guide, whether it's to get them to the NBA championships and they don't win the championships and be like, you know what, I don't need a coach anymore. They win and then they go back to the gym. Whether you are a Grammy Award winning singer, you've got a vocal coach and you've got a manager that's helping you get there. Whether you won the Masters, you still have a golf coach, right? You still have a tennis coach, right? People who are in business have mentors. They have consultants that help them in areas where there's not their skill set in, even if it comes to cooking. And then you also need to mentally prepare. Listen, if you are being lackadaisical in your own life, if you want to spend 20, 30, 40 hours a week watching TV, if you like to binge watch shows, no judgment, if you want to scroll all day on social media, I'm going to tell you that if you try to go into entrepreneurship with these habits, nothing wrong with the habits, but they are not going to serve you well as an entrepreneur. So I hope you find this video helpful. Let me know in the comments, where do you need support? Is it that you need to get clear on what you want? Is it that you need to develop a deeper why? You need a strategy? You need a mentor? Do you need to mentally prepare? Is it a combination of all 5? Let me know. And listen, if you want to work with me and you want to get some guidance, then I would encourage you to schedule a consultation with me. Very similar to taking your car to a mechanic. You pay the mechanic to go, hey, what's going on with my car here? I need to know. And then the mechanic's going to run a diagnostic on you, and then they're going to make some recommendations to you on what you need to do next. It may be more repairs. It may be you need an oil change. It may be, you might just want to buy a whole new car, right? It is the same thing. Like if you book an appointment with the doctor, you or your insurance pays the fee. You go in, the doctor asks you questions, maybe they'll run tests, and you're like, something is off, I don't know what it is. And you're relying on the doctor, and you're relying on the mechanic and their expertise, their experience, and their education to help you solve a problem that you're having. And the doctor may recommend a prescription, they may recommend a surgery, they may recommend a lifestyle change, but either way, you at least know what's going on. And I would encourage you to do the same thing for your business. So if that's something that you're open to, make sure that you look in the description box to get all the details on how to do that. I look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace. Thank you so much for watching. If you're ready to make the transition from employee to entrepreneur, then make sure to register for From Corporate to Culinary. From Corporate to Culinary is a mini course designed to help professional women begin the process of following their passion. So whether you are still on the fence about following your dreams or you have already leaped from the corporate ladder, From Corporate to Culinary equips you with the tools you need to live, cook, and work on your own terms. For more details and to register, go to FromCorporateToCulinary.com. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so that you never miss a new episode. And to see what I'm cooking up behind the scenes, make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook as Chef Evelyn. That's all for today, and I'll see you next week. Peace.